we might have made a mistake leaving Australia.
Beep. Hey guys, we are Tijs and Abbey. We are the Fit Nomads and we have been living abroad now for just over a year. We've been to 15 different countries, all whilst working remotely, so we literally know every single thing about all of the countries that we've been to at least.
So far, for sure. I mean, we've made a lot of mistakes, that's why we know so much, I think.
Made a lot of mistakes, we've learnt along the way. And in today's video, we want to talk about why we left Australia, the best and the worst parts about being a digital nomad, and whether or not we made a mistake by leaving.
Make sure you give us a subscribe and follow along, because what we're going to be doing is sharing our journey a lot more with you guys as we go throughout the world.
All right, babe, why do we leave Oz?
Very good question. It was 2 years ago me and you met, and yeah, I mean 6 months in, we're getting to know each other, and one thing that came up quite often was how much we love to travel and how we wanted to travel a lot more than what we were able to do in Melbourne working for our jobs. You know, we were working the normal 9 to 5s, or Abby was working, what were you working?
5 till 8.
5. Bloody long days, but starting really early as a fitness trainer. I was working normal 9 to 5 as an engineer, and we just didn't have enough time off. We loved traveling, and we wanted to do something else. We wanted to live a different life where we got to do our adventures every single day, live overseas and experience, you know, the world.
Alright, and where have we been in the last 365 days?
That's a great question, and you know that I cannot answer those questions.
Got the worst memory ever.
I can't remember any of those. I know that I'll have the memories in my head, but can't remember off the top of my head, so I might give it to you, okay? So we started off in Thailand, which we absolutely loved. We're going to try and live in Thailand, so stay tuned if you want more information on that, because we're going to have a ton of info on how to get set up in Thailand long term. But then we moved to Laos, which was incredible. Definitely recommend. Then we did Central America, so Mexico, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Guatemala. Then we went down south to Colombia. We did a little bit of America, and then we went all the way back to Asia, did Thailand again. Then we went to Europe, so we have just spent 3 months in Turkey, in Italy, and then Scotland and England as well, which was pretty much our 365 days. And then amongst that, we've also made 2 stops back to Australia for weddings. So we've kind of based our trips around weddings that we've had and special occasions. And then we've also got our wedding in March next year. Wow, how do you even remember that? That's ridiculous.
Love it, so good.
I'd say, Abby, you have that all down pat. So why don't you tell me, where was your favourite place?
So our favourite place out of all of those countries that we just mentioned, we are going to tell you at the very end of this video, so make sure you stay tuned till the very end.
One question everyone asks us is, how do we decide on what to take with us? Because, you know, we're going for so long, so why don't you walk us through that?
Okay, if you're thinking about working remotely overseas, there's not a whole lot that you need other than your entire wardrobe. But you need your passport, which is obvious, your phone and your laptop. So our setup is pretty simple here. We've got our 2 laptops, we've got a side screen as well that we often use, and we've got a speaker. But the most important thing that we obviously need to take with us is our coffee maker. This baby is literally probably the most travelled coffee maker in the entire world. We take her everywhere, she fits great in our suitcase, and it just means that we can wake up in the morning and make sure that we have coffee first thing. Apart
from those essentials Abby has mentioned, one thing that is super important is internet. Because we're working online, we need to have good Wi-Fi everywhere, and it can be troublesome, especially if you're traveling places like Central America. We've got a couple of ways that we've been doing it. We use eSIMs sometimes, although this can really stuff around your social medias if you're using eSIMs and posting in with a SIM from another country. This can stuff up your reach and all that sort of stuff, so be aware of that. Otherwise, we're with Optus, so they give us 5 gigabytes a day for $5. And that seems to work super well. Even though it's a little bit more expensive, it means that you can continue using the same SIM that you've got and, you know, travel wherever and you've got internet wherever, which is super important. The thing you got to remember is these SIMs might not work in all countries. Like when we were in Nicaragua and Guatemala, our Optus SIMs weren't working all the time, so it meant we did have to get a local SIM, which was absolutely super easy. You know, when you go get a local SIM, sometimes you need your passport to go buy one from a 7-Eleven or a convenience store, but otherwise it's pretty simple and they'll install it on the spot.
We're going to talk about the best and worst parts about being a digital nomad.
Yes, very important stuff.
So one of the best parts is obviously the cost of living. We are outside the supermarket at the moment and we're going to do a bit of a weekly shop and we'll let you know how much it costs in a second. But the grocery stores are fun, everything's super cheap, and just generally living in Asian countries is, yeah, it's great.
Other than the cost of living being so cheap, which is fantastic, you know, the main thing that we love is the people, right? People in Asian countries, but also all of the places that we've visited, they're so lovely and so helpful to tourists, and it is, you know, just fantastic. It's a nice place to be when people are excited and happy about life, then you're excited and happy about life.
So to be honest, before we left and moved overseas, I had no idea what to expect when it came to like supermarkets all around the world, but they're exactly the same. I don't know if that's really naive of me, but I just didn't think that they would be exactly the same. But you know what? They're if not better.
I feel like Asian supermarkets have way more stuff.
They've got so much stuff.
Like they have all the little knickknacks that you might need to fix anything, to do anything, to cook anything. So yeah, I mean that's probably the only difference, and heaps of different Asian foods, which are pretty cool.
And we also bought an air fryer yesterday for $30.
Yeah, that's an absolute bargain. Another great part is obviously riding the scooters around and being able to get everywhere on one of these little bad boys. I think, you know, in Western countries it feels way more dangerous to ride a scooter, and I think this might be controversial, but in Asian countries people watch out for you on the road, right? So you're just another person, but they will watch out for you, so if you make a wrong turn they'll probably brake before they hit you, right? But in Western countries, you'd be dead. Hiring these scooters is pretty cheap, so I think for this one we paid about $4 a day.
Big math,
$20. That's why I'm not an engineer anymore. $120, and then I think we were in Costa Rica and it cost us a bit more, actually a fair bit more. It was like $160 per week. So Asia definitely the one for the win. And then to fill this bad boy up, I mean we fill it up probably only once a week or once every 3 or 4 days, and it costs a couple of dollars, less than $10. Off on the scooter we go. Ready to go. We look so funny with our hats.
Another thing that we absolutely love about being digital nomads is the fact that we can literally work wherever we want, which is a given. But today we've taken off for the afternoon. It is Tijs' 31st birthday and we're going to spend the beautiful day here. We can work on our own terms, work wherever we want. Chef's kiss. And the real beauty of it is that whilst you're in one country, obviously you can move around a lot wherever you want to go. But unlike Australia, Australia is so far from everywhere else in the world. But if you go to Central America, Europe, even Asia, there are so many countries that you can sort of just cross a border or grab a quick flight to, and it's pretty cheap, and you can literally see so many parts of the world.
Anyway, we're in a place called Phu Quoc at the moment. I don't know if we said that at the start of the video.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, Phu Quoc is in Vietnam, and it's an island just off the mainland. It's quite beautiful. It's kind of like, reminds me of Koh Chang in Thailand. Yeah, why is that?
Koh Chang is a little bit deserted, so if you ever go to Koh Chang, it's kind of got this weird, eerie ghost town vibe, and this is giving us like similar vibes.
Yeah, and I think we've got some videos coming up that will show you some of the reasons why we're feeling like this. But the main thing is, I think after COVID and stuff, a lot of these places lost a lot of their business, so lots of the buildings went under and that sort of thing. So you'll see as you go around these places, Koh Chang included, a lot of abandoned buildings, abandoned resorts.
It's like unfinished business.
Yeah.
So the worst things about being a digital nomad, there's not many. My first one is the fact that I've left a beautiful border collie behind in Melbourne that my mum's currently looking after. Our goal is to eventually bring him over, but for the time being he's with family, and that does break my heart from time to time.
As well, leaving people behind, leaving friends and family behind, Lenny as well.
Yeah, it just feels like you sometimes miss out on things, but then also we've been back twice. Like the flexibility of work means that we can fly back, and us being in Asia means that we're close enough to be able to fly home for weddings and special occasions and things like that. So yeah, it hasn't been that bad.
And the other thing that I can think of is when we move around, just starting in new places and not being able to make as many friends as you want because you're moving around so much. But I think, as we go to Copenhagen more often and go to Thailand more often, we'll meet more and more people and have that connection.
I think it just requires effort to make friends, and we haven't really been putting in, because we've been moving so much, we haven't really been putting in the effort. So if you're a solo traveller, you definitely need to put in the effort anyway, but even if you're a couple, it just requires a little bit of extra conversation and things.
I mean, not to say that we've made some friends for sure that are doing similar things to us.
No, we have.
And so we're not losers.
Yeah, no, we're not. No, but you do want to like the company of the person you're doing it with, because you spend a lot of time together.
I know, and you wear silly hats together.
Other than that, nothing else comes to mind. So how do we make the cash dollars? This is an interesting question, and it's something that we've been working very hard on over the last 365 days. So, do you want to take it away? What do you do, Tijs?
So it's definitely a longer story, and I think we'll make a full video about this. So make sure you subscribe and follow along, because then we'll show you how you can do it as well if you want to do it. But basically, I do coaching. I teach people how to grow on social media and monetize with digital products. And Abby and I started a group together, a community together, where we teach people how to do that. But also Abby has another business.
So I'm an online fitness coach and nutritionist. Before we left Melbourne, I own a studio in Melbourne, and I still do a little share. But before we left Melbourne, I was doing face-to-face coaching with PT, and now I've taken that fully online. So I've spent a year building up my client list on Instagram, going on Instagram, getting clients that way. So that's how I predominantly make my money. And then, we also help people grow on social media and create digital products like ebooks, courses, and things like that, so they can monetize their Instagram as well.
But yeah, we'll do another video on that, and so make sure, tune in for...
Subscribe.
Get on it, bro.
If you're watching this video and you don't have a job currently that can take you overseas, if you're worried that you won't be able to make money online, you're worried that it's not going to work out, or you just have no way of making it happen, Tijs literally started from scratch. He was an engineer before we left Melbourne, and now he's doing something completely different. And it took him a while to find out what he wanted to do, but we worked together on that, and we took a bit of a risk, and it's paid off. So there's so many ways to make money online. You can literally do so many things. But we will do a whole video on how to make money online, even outside of what we do, because we've done a lot of research, we've tried a lot of things. But just know that even if you can't take your current job overseas, there's just so many other options.
Yeah. Also, it works if you've got a good teacher like Abby to show you the ropes, that's for sure.
So we want to talk about cultural differences as well, because I think a lot of people worry about going to places, different countries, not knowing the language, not knowing how they're going to communicate with the local people that live there. We have found it absolutely fine in Thailand. They actually speak, mostly English.
Yeah, a lot of people speak English in Thailand. Also, when you go to Asian countries in particular, people are very nice and very happy to help with anything. So even if you don't speak the language, people are very happy to help.
Our number one tip is download Google Translate on your phone. It's honestly the best app. You can type in anything and it speaks it out loud. Otherwise you can try and read it, but it's one of our favourite ways to communicate wherever we are.
Actually, so many people use that.
Everyone uses it.
Our taxi driver yesterday was using it with us. The other thing is, if you want to, get to know the culture and you go to a new country, then you should learn a couple of words, and it'll get you so far. People love it when you have taken the time to learn some of their language, and it's not too difficult. Yes, you might butcher it sometimes.
They kind of like that too.
They kind of like it too. I think we butchered a lot in
time.
Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey was our worst.
Yeah, I think it was right.
Teşekkürler. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so just learn the language and get amongst it and try new things. People love it when you take the time out of your day to go learn their culture and get be a part of it.
The things we didn't expect.
Things we didn't expect. One thing was there was a settling in time. So every time we arrived at a new place, it took us a little bit to settle in, to work out where everything was, and you can feel a bit uneasy, and I think that's because we were working quite hard at the beginning, especially to try and get this thing on the road. So, settling in and finding the internet, finding a coffee space, finding a place to work, to feel comfortable. It took a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think as well, we also didn't expect Wi-Fi, and this sounds a bit silly, but we didn't expect Wi-Fi to be such an important factor.
Yeah.
I think when we're on the go working all the time, we didn't expect some places not to have good Wi-Fi, like Porto Escondido. If you want to work remotely there, bring your own Wi-Fi, because it was terrible.
Yeah.
We just didn't expect things like that, and that can cause quite a lot of stress. So just do your research on good Wi-Fi before you go to places, but most places are generally pretty good. Thailand's amazing.
Yeah.
Asia has been pretty amazing, but like Guatemala, Puerto Escondido, places like that.
Central America.
Central America a little touchy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So our favorite places over the last 365 days, I'm going to give my top 3. All right, my third is Costa Rica for sure. If you love surf, the weather is amazing. The only downside is that it's super expensive compared to Asia and Australia. But Costa Rica is amazing. There's heaps of different towns and they've all got quite a unique feel to them. We do have a Nasara video already. I'll plug that below in the show notes as well. And we'll do another one, I'm sure, on that as well. Number 2, it's an even split between Guatemala and Kash in Turkey.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved Kash so much. It's on a hill. It's beautiful scenery. The weather is amazing, and the Turkish breakfast is like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then the last one,
Number one, our absolute favourite. And if you hadn't picked up on it earlier, I don't know what you've been listening to, but Thailand is definitely our favourite, and there's a few reasons why. Okay, the people are fantastic in Thailand. The people are absolutely lovely, super friendly, easy to get along with. The weather is obviously beautiful, pretty much most of the year round. The food is delicious.
Cheap.
They know how to cook a curry. They know how to cook really good food, super cheap. Cost of living is down. The internet
Wi-Fi
is super fast everywhere and very cheap as well.
And
so
everywhere's got good gyms.
Everywhere's
Koh Phangan especially is like super health conscious, so you might think it's a party island, but up the north it's like beautiful yoga retreats, gyms, like cafes.
Yeah.
It's just got everything you need to live.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like the perfect mixture of like, you know, Asia and I guess all the Western things that you love. Like you know, we love a nice gym. We love, you know, being able to good cafes, being able to do like cool activities and stuff. And it's just got everything. Yeah, it's awesome. Check out where we are. Look at this. This is living. This is what we do. How good is that? Do we regret leaving Australia? Truth be told, we absolutely do not regret it, not one bit. I think it is more than what we expected. We probably expected it to be a little harder and you know, more tougher times, but honestly, all it's given us is a lot more freedom. We have time to enjoy a lot more things that we love to enjoy, and it's not as hard as you may think. It's not as hard.
It's not hard. I mean, it is hard. There are definitely some, being real, like there's definitely some hard times, but you know, everything always works out. There's always ways to make money, and the best part is we just get to work wherever we want. We get to see the world, and it's just fucking fantastic.
It's just fantastic. Yeah, exactly. I really don't see us stopping anytime soon unless there's something, you know, special on the cards. But we just enjoy it, and it's kind of the life that, you know, we both dreamt of, and now we're doing it. Yeah,
exactly. So if you're thinking about it, please subscribe and watch our videos, drop into our DMs, follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well. We're so happy to help you with any questions that you have. You can also leave them below this video as well. And check out our other videos too, because we got heaps coming.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.